Okay, hey guys, John Sintez here with the podcast. Got it back, Cutternation podcast. Got an awesome guest, guys. 110% from Instagram. First off, I want to start off. Got the shirts. Don't forget to go out and support me on there. Got Let It Fly Factory. You know you got to throw hard, get out there. Also got our tap weighted balls. Got a complete set there. Don't forget about your flush bands. Make yourself feel good. Got my J bands on there. Don't forget to do your J bands. Stay strong. Keep healthy. Keep going from there. Check the website. Link's going to be in the description on there. I'm still down in Mexico. I'm pretty excited about this. I met these guys through Instagram, DMing to get some stuff out there. So welcome to the podcast, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
So where are you guys out of? What's the deal? Tell me about 110%. Let's get this going. Tell me how it started.
Yeah, so pretty much, I mean, this started about 2 years ago. You know, we were just some kids who had a dream, you know, and we were hard workers. We had a different mindset, you know. Well, coming up from a tough neighborhood, Washington Heights, New York, we've all endured tough upbringings, whether that being family, whether that being personal, whether that being in and out the streets, whatever that may be. We all came up. So we just developed with time this mindset, which was going an extra 10%. As you guys know, the system has it. Since we're in pre-K, go 100%, go 100%, go 100%. We just wanted to bring it up a notch and, started 110%. And it simply started with just giving recognition to those athletes, whether that being in the inner cities or all over the world, giving them that platform, giving them that recognition that, out there people, don't know about those guys, those underdogs, those itty gritty guys who work hard and don't get the recognition. So we started this platform by simply giving out shout outs. 2 years into it, back from it, and yeah, we are.
Okay. Yeah, so introduce yourself. You got three guys here. We go ahead. Let everybody know who you are.
So pretty simple. I mean, Elvis Perez. We're all co-founders here. We're more like a family. We do have each other's title. Pierre right here, Pierre Santini. I mean, he can introduce himself. He's the head of board. We just, we keep it pretty simple. He's the guy who sets up all the meetings and keeps the apparel nice and tight. These nice shirts, different logos, different designs. This guy, HCP Sports, he's all about the instruction part of it. And, he's pretty much the brains to operations and stuff like that. Me, I'm just a visionary guy. Like I make sure everything is on point, whether social media wise, with the kids, because we do have a consulting program where we help the kids create opportunities for themselves, whether that be in college or just life opportunities. So as you guys know, it's more than just apparel, it's more than just clothing, it's more than just that. So we all have, exactly, it's more of a lifestyle, and we're trying to market that differently, more than just sports and more on the lifestyle part of it. So I mean, Pierre, collaborate a little bit more.
I'm Felix, by the way.
So quick introduction. I'm Pierre Santini, as Elvis elaborated, co-founders. We started about 2 years ago, just ran from there with the idea of just trying to empower kids in the inner city and all over the world, just to, like, might reiterate what Elvis just went over, just to empower them to go that extra 10%, just don't try not to be normal. Just do anything and be confident about what you do. And lifestyle, if you live that HTP lifestyle, is contagious. You could start it off from you. You could be in a negative environment just by you going HTP every day. People are gonna, it's contagious, just like they say, like, positive reinforcement. Good word, David. So, like, if you see somebody going hard every day and you're just sitting down, not doing anything, feeling down about yourself, when you see that person, they motivate you and they want you to, you want to become that person. You not necessarily become them exactly, but you want to do something similar and you want to, go 110%. So that's the lifestyle that we're trying to brand, and we're trying to tell people or give the platform for. So, everybody just go 110%. That's all I gotta say for right now for my introduction part. We got Felix here.
I'm Felix. I'm the one that wasn't introduced by Elvis. But it's all. I'm Felix Restituto.
Hey, we're a family, you know.
I'm with these guys 24/7.
Yeah.
So we might joke around a little too much, but it's just we're comfortable. So that's just what we are. We're siblings basically. HTP was, I've said this before, but HTP, it was something before it was something. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm gonna clarify that. I'm gonna clear it up for everyone. We were HTP, and other people were HTP because it was like Elvis said, like Pierre said, just to piggyback on what they said, it was a lifestyle. It was just a way of thinking. It was, we grew up with guys that were on the corners, doing this like a lot of people have. We're not from a good neighborhood. That's just a system we're brought up in. And instead of doing that, we decided, what, that's not for us. Where, we were born to be more than that, we were born to be great. So that's what we've always done. So HTP was, when I say that the HTP was something before it was something, what I'm trying to say is that we were always part of that lifestyle, part of that mentality, before we actually decided 2 years ago to make it something else, because we were always those guys behind closed doors, working hard at the gym, at the field, whatever, in school, whatever it was that we were doing, it was all, behind closed doors. No one was seeing it. We're all underdogs. And HTP is something that gives exposure to that underdog. We want to bring you that story or that athlete or that kid that no one knows about, that no one knows even exists, that works as hard as everyone else or even harder. Why? And that's what HTP does. It gives you, we give those kids that exposure. We give those kids, we put the light on those guys that don't have the same opportunities as other guys that, example, can. So yeah, that's what we are. That's what we are. That's what we've started. It's trended to have apparel. We do consult. We help kids get scholarships and get into schools. We do simple things like some kids don't even know how to do, financial aid. They don't know how to fill out financial aid forms. Email to a coach. So we help them out with little things like that, because when we were that age, when we were in high school, no one was there for us. So we're that big brother that we didn't have growing up. We're that big brother to everyone else. And it's just not inner city kids. We're trying to be worldwide. We're trying to help everyone out. You don't even have to be just from the United States. We have international kids as well.
Venezuela,
from Venezuela, Dominican Republic, from Puerto Rico, represent Puerto Ricans. Canadians, I have a couple of Canadian teammates, my previous college. And those guys, listen, it's not just a thing in this area, it's a worldwide thing, and we want to make it that, So that's it. That's it right there.
That's awesome. I think that's what I really, when I found you guys on Instagram, that's what I really kind of went through everything, and I had noticed, and I wasn't quite sure at the beginning if it was like just one of those pages that was, just putting out content and stuff like that. And then the more I followed it, you guys put a couple stories. I was just looking at your page right now. You put a couple stories out, a couple tear jerkers, man. Whoo! I mean, there was some strong stuff in there. I'm going like, man, I need a second, after reading some of those, awesome things that you guys are putting out. And, I really like what you guys were putting out with all that stuff, just such positive environment. And, I came from a small town in Northwest Florida. And it was I didn't have anybody, I was one of the better ball players in my area, but there was, I'm 31. So the information that was back then, the internet wasn't as strong as it is now as far as sharing information and everything. So getting recruited or going on from there just didn't happen. I didn't even get recruited not once in my college career. I walked on 2 weeks before my junior college season, ended up making it to the final day of fall semester junior college tryouts, and I got redshirted, and then got let go after a year after they dropped me down sidearm, and then basically went to another tryout to university and just kind of did my thing there, and then went from not being tryout to being the ace to winning a conference championship, and then kind of had a weird story from there. But I really liked what you guys are putting out and the positive message that you guys are putting out, and I just wanted to give you guys some kudos on that, with putting such good stuff out, having good tight family, and even there's some kids that I've worked with in Florida that put out, when I put something out, I think we did a cross promo or something on there, and I had 3 or 4 kids from my area. They're like, hey, I love those guys. I'm always seeing their stuff and liking their stuff. I'm like, that's great, man. I said, I asked them, do you comment, on their photos? And they were like, oh no, I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm like, say anything, I was like, that stuff helps them out. I'm trying to push it out there, That's why I contacted you guys about that, some of the other stuff that we're working on, which I'm excited about, really kind of growing, together with stuff. Shirts. Yeah. You got the Instagram thing. Now, you put out recently that you put out a documentary. Can you elaborate a little bit more about the documentary?
Yes. The documentary, the Roots documentary, came out about 2 weeks ago. We wanted to shed a light now that our fan base is pretty big. It's right now at the 16,000 mark. So we wanted to shed a light on our beginning, each and one of us, where we come from, and we wanted to showcase to the world that we were average kids from a regular town in New York City, and we made it happen. We graduated from school. We all took different routes. We ended up in the same place. We all have college degrees now. We're all pushing towards our career. So we wanted to give people that picture, the average Joe, who works a regular corporate America job, 9 to 5, and he just so happens to see the Roots documentary. Like, the whole message towards it, obviously, we're promoting the 110% lifestyle and HTP and everything we do. But in reality, the whole Roots thing was more for, what, guys? Whenever times get tough, whenever things out there don't go your way, at the end of the day, look past, that darkness. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? No matter how hard, things in your life may be. I find it pretty ludicrous that people out there, tell people, hey, keep your head up, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? But what do you have in here that's propelling you to keep going when things get hard? And that is the 110% mentality. Those who have that mentality up there are going to persevere in the long run. And that's what Roots is all about. When things get hard, Jay, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget why you started. Look back at your roots. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Keep going. And that's why we put out that documentary, just shedding a light on, our roots and how we started, how we came about. And for those watching this, make sure to check out the Roots documentary.
Yeah, absolutely. And just
where can they find it?
You can find it on YouTube. In our Instagram link page, and it'll have the link right under it. It's directed to our YouTube page. And just to how you were asking yourself that question, Jonathan, that you ask yourself like, oh yeah, are these guys just a page that's throwing out content? What are they about? So I feel like the Roots documentary, whoever is asking themselves that'll be probably the best way to answer any of those questions, because that really goes concrete into what we're actually trying to do and what we started and what we're going to keep doing in the long run, because we're here. We just started right now. We're not stopping right now. We're gonna keep going. The support's been awesome. We can't even be as much grateful as we can be. Our fans are awesome. Everybody who's been around us, our communities helping us out. People like you, trying to share information.
Yeah, just like Felix here again, just in case you guys missed out.
That's Felix.
This is me. This is what I do.
You always have that one guy, Jonathan.
Yeah. Hey, let me guess. He's the pretty one too, right? He's playing the pretty card. I said, yeah, you're playing the pretty card, right? You're the pretty one of the 3, right?
Oh, come on. Oh man. Listen, just like Pierre said, there's a lot of, just like you said, and Pierre related to it. I'm gonna get on that too. Well, there's a lot of Instagrams and a lot of people that are doing a lot of good things, and just like you said, this is probably just another page that's just throwing content out there, And what we want to do, what we wanted to also achieve with the Roots documentary, ourselves from ages, which by all means, I mean, if I have no, I'm not saying that that's what everyone should do. Everyone should go their own route, and everyone thinks differently. But I'm saying we wanted to branch out and really show people that we're not just an Instagram, that we're not just 110%, that we're not just a post, we're not just a shout out or a like, or we're actual people. There's people behind the scenes with a story and a reason to why we're doing what we're doing. And a lot of people have reasons to do what they do, but they never share it. Sharing something gives the people more insight on who you are, and it gives HTP 110% because of that documentary, which is done. A lot of people have checked it out, and we thank you guys. It gives us personality now. That wow, there's guys and they went through things. They're not just preaching something that they never endured themselves, or experienced. We're preaching things about our life and about why we decided, and about other people's lives and about certain situations, and why those situations or our situations or our choices, or it's life. Everyone knows it's life. There's ups, there's downs. You're happy, you're sad. It happens. This is life. This is what we have to deal with. By giving people that personality part of us, now they understand that we're not just an Instagram, or we're more than that. We're people that know what it is to struggle, that know what it is to get up and keep going after and keep getting after it. And that's I believe in going 110%. And I believe that that documentary, it opened up part to what we're trying to do to our audience, to our fans. So yeah, that's the Roots documentary. If you haven't checked it out, you can go on Instagram, click the link, go on Instagram, 110%. Click the link. There's a YouTube link. You can click on that. If you don't want to go on Instagram, you just want to go on Safari or the YouTube app. If you don't have it, go on that app. You can just type in HTP Roots, and it will be the first video there. You can view it. You can click it. You can comment. Have fun with it. Watch it. Send it to your mom, to your brother. Watch it with your family. If you want, watch it by yourself.
Share with your friends.
Boom.
For the most part, Jonathan, these guys pretty much touched base pretty well on what I'm about to say. But as you know, I know we had a conversation about a couple of weeks ago. This documentary was released to the public, and one of the things I've really been trying to work on with HTP, it's going well. We've come a long way, and everybody's engaging pretty well. The attention's there. The fan bases, they love our content, but we're really working. And I told the guys that storytelling is huge. I really want to start documenting instead of just pumping out content. Because anybody could just pump out content. When we started HTP, there were thousands of friends who came up to us and kind of just try to trend off what we were trying to do and start their own brands. And all they were doing was just selling a shirt with a logo on it. What did we do different? We just honestly wanted to help people, genuinely help people, genuinely help people, free of charge, help kids go to college. We've sent over 30 kids to college. We have a story behind our logo. Behind this 110 with this, with this pretty logo, there is a story behind it. Now, taking it to the next level, we're going to start documenting moving forward. Roots was actually the first, big project we put out of many to come. And we're just going to start telling a story now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just to wrap up the whole Roots. Check it out for those who haven't.
I guarantee you.
Awesome. I'll definitely put a link in the description to it also. And Elvis, it sounded like that you had a little Gary V in there, a little document, little thing right there. I mean, dude, he's like my guy. Like literally, I get up every morning, go downstairs, have some coffee. I got my iPad, and like most of the time I'm not even watching. Sometimes I'm watching what he's doing. But I do a little Gary V. I mean, he's really changed a lot of things. This is why I picked this back up. I forgot I even had a podcast. I had 10 episodes before I even picked this thing back up and got it going again. and was like, yeah, why don't I do this? Why don't I make myself more accessible? And I've started going Instagram Live a little bit more. I think I answered like 150 questions yesterday in an hour. And kids are just throwing stuff out there, and that's why I started this stuff too. And that's the same thing. Like when people see my logo or stuff like that, I want them to be like, look, this guy cares. And I still have a lot of clients that are back in Florida that I get videos from them. Like, send me stuff. I want to help you if you want help. Like and give them the truth behind really what's going on with all this stuff. And I've got guys that are possibly going to be drafted, or people ask me about college scholarship offers and what their options are, and I just use my experience about that, and go from there. And so I love that you guys put that out there, and I really appreciate you guys putting your spin and your stuff on there, because you do get a lot of positivity. And there's a weird thing when I was coming up through high school and college, where like, if you were putting stuff out right at the beginning of social media, you were almost showing off and this and that. And I think that what I'm trying to do is the same thing you guys are trying to do. Is it's not really showing off. It's you're trying to put yourself out there to help people. That, look, hey, here's what I'm good at. Ask me a question, and that's what I feel like I'm getting the same vibe from you guys.
Yep, that's pretty much what it is. As you know, as the great Gary Vaynerchuk says it all the time: jab, 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 right hook. You want to give, then take. That's what I live by. Wake up. I try to give our 16,000 fans out there, supporters, family, friends, day one people, the best of what we can give. Whether that's telling a story of a guy who, Giovanni Thomas, I want to shout this man out in particular. My boy. Giovanni Thomas, this guy went to Norman Thomas High School. This guy embodies everything what we're about. By the way, for those on the Instagram, check out his page. It's the slow motion video on there. Beautiful left-handed stroke, and he's wearing those awesome LeBrons. Check it out. But for the most part, the guy has made a huge comeback season, because unfortunately his dad passed away last year. But if you think about it, Jonathan, in our context, on our 110% context, anybody could have easily folded. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could have just woken up a couple days after their father or mother passed away, or any relative, and just could have just folded, quit baseball, and moved out of town, dropped out of school, and just, you know what I'm saying? But this guy had that mindset, that 110% mindset that we preach on a day-to-day basis, which is keep going. Don't be regular. Be 110%. Give that extra 10%. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Keep going. And it is what it is. That's pretty much what we are,
Just
so.
do it. Grab it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Yeah, you guys got a great little dynamic there. That's awesome. I'm super jealous that you guys got a nice tight group right there. Okay, so you guys are in New York, and so where in New York do you guys kind of do you have like a place you go to, a facility or fields, or how do you guys go about it? Because New York's definitely not Florida, so obviously there's snow, environmental factors there. So where can people kind of get with you to help themselves get your knowledge on everything from a mental aspect to the workouts and stuff?
Well, most notably, before I even get into that, we do have a couple, maybe 4 or 5 months of, good weather, but we don't let that stop us. It could be winter. We'll go our way and either get onto a field somewhere, and, videotape a couple prospects, or, just stay online, see what videos up there. Me, Pierre, and Felix, we're always online, checking some of our ACP athletes' pages, seeing what they update, any recent videos. And honestly, we can't be out there, but some facilities we do, just to answer your question, Jonathan, most notably A-Game Sports, which is why Felix will tell you a little bit more about that.
Yes, I work at A-Game Sports, which is a beautiful facility in New Rochelle, New York, which is, for the people that don't know where New Rochelle, New York is, it's about 25 to 30 minutes from the city. It's a beautiful facility. Shout out to Darren and Kevin, the owners, my bosses. Those guys are awesome. They were two guys, you know, that you can also go on the website. It's agamesports.net there as well. Two guys that work 9 to 5 jobs, and they said, we don't want to do this anymore because although we're making good money, although, you know, we're in a better position than a lot of people we know, we're not happy because we're not giving back. So I believe about 2 to 4 years ago, I'm not going to be specific on that, they decided to open up a facility and give back to the community of New Rochelle. It's in the Westchester County. For people might know that more. But they decided to open up that facility and you know, and they offer baseball instruction, softball instruction, soccer instruction, lacrosse. There's a lot of lacrosse guys that go there. Those guys are very good, by the way. That sport is very hard. Very physical. I didn't know how physical it was, but it's very physical. Very physical. They offer lax rules. Those guys are awesome. Lacrosse. They offer basketball and indoor gyms, you know, because our weather, like I said, is a little on the rough side most of the time. It's very inconsistent. One day today was 86, 87 degrees. Dropped down to about 59, 60. So it's very hit or miss until the summer actually gets here. About 3 to 4 months, and that's about it. But that's a great facility. You can catch me there. I'm always there. I'm there every day. You know, I'm there for baseball instruction, birthday parties. You can come in. Anyone watching this, you can come in and just have a conversation with me or any guy that works there. Because when I tell you, and it's not just to say, when I tell you, we're just down to earth people. I feel great there because it feels like a family. Because those guys, the owners, they know what it's like 9 to 5 life to work a corporate job, to work for someone else and not be happy. And at the end of the day, although you're probably not making as much money, you know, for a short amount of time, now you're happy, you know. My favorite rapper, just so people can know some more personality, my favorite rapper, which rap is not my only favorite music, by the way, is J. Cole, called Love Yours. I don't know if you know about it, Jay, but if people don't know about that, you should go hear that song. And that song touches me a lot. Sure.
Absolutely.
Because it talks about, shout out to J. Cole. We would love some free tickets. I'd like to meet you. We would love that guy.
Right hook.
He talks about how regardless of what car you drive or how big your house is, your wife, or you know, all these other things, all these material things that the world and the system feeds us, that's the right thing, that's the American dream. It doesn't matter if you're not happy, if you don't love yourself, if you don't love who you're around. Be in the struggle.
That's awesome.
There's beauty in the struggle. If you don't struggle, you never struggle, then how are you going to know how it feels to succeed?
Exactly.
You can't. You have to struggle. You have to struggle. You have to get past it. And so you can know what it feels like. Because if you've always had it good, then it's just always been good. You know?
Yeah.
So we enforce that. But A Game Sports is where you can find me. This guy right here is another baseball instructor. Summertime, guys. Listen to this. Summertime is coming. We haven't really promoted it yet. We don't have the logistics to it yet, but you know, we're working on it. We're actually thinking of having a summer camp for kids of all ages. So, you know, for those parents that work those 9 to 5 jobs, which by all means get your money, do your thing. Bring your kids to us. You know, some guys that at the end of the day, we're not just focused on how hard you're gonna go, but we're gonna make you a better person. We're gonna make that kid a better individual for society, just for himself, you know, for his family, for whatever the case is. We want to make better human beings. We don't want to focus on better athletes. We want to make, because at the end of the day, we all live in this world. It doesn't matter if you're Caucasian, if you're African, if you're Latino, if you're it doesn't matter where you're from. You know, we're all human beings. We all live here together. And what better thing to do than all, you know, bond and share and actually love the things that are essential to life. So we're thinking of the summer camp, but in the summer, you know, once it starts getting a little better, this weather gets a little bit more consistent. We're going to talk more about that. We're working on that. But I am at A-Game Sports in New Rochelle, New York. You guys can come check me out. You guys can go on the website. They also have a bio about me there. They touch on my 110%, you know, activities and whatnot. You know, they shouted me out, so I got to shout those guys out because the people that are genuine with you, you know, you have to essential for us. And this is Pierre. He's gonna tell you guys. Wow, you're getting big, man. He's gonna tell you guys what's going on with him and all that fun stuff.
Well, yeah, you know, Felix touched base on a lot of things there that we go through. I'm currently an instructor at Bulldogs. It's an organization here in Midtown Manhattan, which they've been running for quite some time now. What we do there is we give instruction to kids, whether it's travel ball or regular baseball for anybody trying to learn from all ages. We have private classes. The reason that I feel like those, like, let's say I work for that organization, right? That's fine. But what I feel that is essential to that is the fact that I feel like every day I could change a kid's life. I work with kids ranging from 3 to 15, and what really gets me going and motivates me every day to go even harder is seeing that kid progress from week 1 that I first started with him. He couldn't catch ground ball to week 15 that these guys are flat out catching ground balls, turning those plays, knowing what to do. And it's just not even that they're getting better, but it's just the smiles that they have in their face and how they don't put themselves down. They're so enthusiastic. They're so optimistic every day. And they want to keep going. And that just motivates me. I feed off the kids. I feed off everybody else around me. And just having that, I can't thank them enough just to give me the opportunity to be with kids and just be around the sport that I love, which is baseball, and just passing my knowledge down to kids. That's what it's all about. And that's how I know these guys feel, because that's just the way that we've grown up all our lives. We've been those guys that you can go to the park, and if you don't got somebody to throw with, you don't got a bat, you don't have a ball to throw with, your life on it, that if you would have came up to us and just spoken to us and just said, hey, could I throw with you guys? Could I catch ground balls with you guys? Could you guys teach me how to catch a backhand? Could I hit BP? We never said no. And everybody that knows us personally knows that about us. And we're just generally the type of people we're trying to get back, just trying to make a better society, better community. And baseball, anything in life, we go 110%.
That's awesome. Yeah, hashtag 110%. That's awesome. That sparked a couple of ideas in me that I think I mentioned to Elvis or someone earlier. You know, I might actually be up in the New York area doing some clinics and stuff. So I think we're gonna have to get together, try to collab and all that stuff, and see if we can, you know, make some good stuff for all of us in there. I think that would be great. And that's awesome. So I really like the positivity message you guys are putting out there. You know, and you're putting some more stuff out on YouTube. You guys are all great people. You know, I can personally vouch for too. You know, I had a couple teams when I was back in Florida, and watching the little guys progress, you know, and understand the game and really start to fall in love with it. It's really, you know, was fun for me also. Do you got any questions for me? You know, you guys, you know, I've been grilling you guys or anything, you know, anything you got for me over there?
I mean, there's always questions. I mean, honestly, Jay, I want to thank you in advance for having us. Honestly, it's a big honor. You know, it's actually our first official podcast where we're featured, and it's an honor. You know, I told these guys, I think yesterday about it. I was just like, hey guys, I really need you guys to come through, and they were like so pumped about it. They were wicked excited, and you know, to be here, you know, sharing our stories and you know, going back and forth, talking with you, man, it's truly a blessing. And I want to thank you in advance for having us, for believing in us. He approached me, and you know, we're networking back and forth, cross promotion. We're actually part of an amazing engagement group of a whole bunch of amazing guys who share the same goal, you know. which is, be great, use this social media age and with all the attention that there is in Instagram, and, do great things. And, I want to thank you in advance for believing in us.
Same thing here, man.
No problem, man. I mean, it's like I could recognize them as good people. It was the engagement group thing. That's an easy thing. I think we could probably. I think on this platform right here, I can get up to 8 people or 8 cameras at once. So we got to get like a bunch of people in there, get a nice round table going.
Absolutely, that could be in the future plans as well. This is just like we were speaking about earlier. This is just the beginning, man. I mean, what we started, what you've been started. I mean, this is just the beginning of something I feel like is gonna snowball into, and something to be reckoned with, man. I mean, our messages, or everything that we're trying to put out, all the content, everything that we're trying to do is for the better. And I feel like people genuinely feed off that. So again, just like Elvis said, just for sharing us and having us on your podcast, we just appreciate it, man.
Yeah, very grateful for that, man. Not a lot of people
reach out.
This is Jay. You said I want if there's any questions, and I actually have a question. Is it on?
Give us a second.
Did you get off?
Yeah, I lost you. I lost your video. I still got your audio though.
Okay. All right. We're
See what's going on here.
Happens sometimes.
There's no what?
No power mode. How you take this off?
Bro, just charge it.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there.
But we could just throw this on right here. Boom. Take that off. So we're back to our regular scheduled programming. Boom. We're back.
We're back. We're better.
Oh, hey, here we go.
See me?
Yep, we're good.
All right, good. So where was I? Oh, Jay, you asked us. We're very grateful. These guys said it all, but out of respect and everything else. Thank you. Very grateful. These guys killed it, man. I don't even know what to say. But something you also asked us if we had any questions. I have for you, because you're from Florida, you said, and we're New York City products. We were born and raised. Well, Pierre was born in
I was actually
Pierre
born
was born in Miami.
Yeah, that's the funny part. So I was raised in New York.
Yeah, we were born and raised here in New York City. New York City made us. That gritty New York, uptown Manhattan. But just to yeah, how did you what were some obstacles you had to face, and after you answer that question, I have another question that's gonna follow.
I also have a question.
You're gonna have to wait your turn.
Yeah, you should have. We all have the question.
I want the first one, so I'm gonna have a 2-part question /
Okay.
Boom.
No, okay. So the first question was, what obstacles?
Yeah, like obstacles. When growing up in Florida,
Big contrast to being in a big city. I'm sure you being from the northwest of Florida, not that much people around there, right? I could imagine.
Correct. All right. So dude, I've been through the ringer. That's really why, I probably should write some stuff down for what, don't want to get you guys going, but I've been through some stuff. Didn't get recruited out of high school. Walked on to a junior college, made a team after getting redshirted, then didn't get recruited for the 4-year level, and pretty much kind of earned my way onto a team there, did well. And then my senior year of college, I threw a pitch and broke my elbow, and I didn't know what was wrong. It took me 6 months of dealing with doctors and issues, finally to get an MRI, and finally got an MRI. And even after the MRI in 6 months, I still had an 80% stress fracture in my elbow. So I actually did not start playing professional baseball until I was 25. I missed 3 years with 2 surgeries. And that's really where I started doing lessons, started doing my branding. I've got a degree in advertising marketing. So I learned something about myself in those 3 years, is that if I sit around and don't do something, I get a little crazy. And so I just noticed that I'm into this whole a lot. Okay, there was a popular thing going on about being a lion for a while, like in hip hop. You talk about J. Cole. I'm a big fan of that album, by the way. Good, Jay. I'm a fan. Shout out to you. Also, Folding Clothes is probably my song right now. Like that song gets me.
That's
Like that's my jam. It's got a nice beat. A lot of people, if you see some of my Instagram videos, I actually slip like a little instrumental of J. Cole into a lot of my videos and stuff. So Jay, I'm down with Jay. That being said, I'm more like, I understand the lion thing, King of the Jungle, that whole thing, but I'm into the shark thing right now. And I don't know if you know anything about sharks, but if sharks stop swimming, they die. So that's the whole thing that I'm into right now. And like, I just got to keep moving, man. It's keep moving forward. It's keep doing what you got to do. It's, put out positivity, answer questions, and go from there. So, I mean, and as far as, my career and playing ball and everything right now is, because I've never played affiliated baseball. I played a couple of years of independent baseball in America. I made this connection, this networking with this guy that got me down here in Mexico. And it's just kind of, ever since coming down here, it's just kind of exploded up. I understood when I was going into another country to be respectful of the culture and learn Spanish. I'm from more of some would call a redneck area of Florida. There's not a lot of Spanish, not a lot of Latinos down there. And so I'm always been raised as a nice guy, just, very grateful, very humble, and trying to figure out, what things are going to go through, wherever I'm at. So even, tying that in with you guys, me recognizing that there was somebody doing something behind the scenes, not knowing there were 3 amazing people that were really trying to help a lot, for the 110% brand, that's just where the obstacles have with me. And so it's always been a struggle. I was never, coming from a small town, I might have been the hardest thrower, but I was very aware of watching TV and understanding that, watching baseball on TV and stuff, that I wasn't the best. I wasn't the most talented. I wasn't the tallest. I graduated high school like 168 pounds. Like I was a tiny dude. And so now it's, cut to now, I'm 6'3", 225, throw, touch 96 miles an hour. I do everything that I can every day to get better. And whatever I'm doing, whether it's sharpen my sequences, become stronger, get more flexible. I'm really, especially learning about Gary Vee and things that make you better now and Elvis probably heard this too, is I'm tripling down on what I'm good at. And that's why I started this podcast back up. Baseball, this is what I'm good at. And one of the things that I really learned from in those 3 years is I started studying the best athletes. Your Michael Jordan, your LeBron, your Roger Clemens, your Olympic athletes. And I started realizing that they didn't have backup plans. And I was raised more of a backup plan. I got my college degree in 4 years. I did everything I was supposed to. I made perfect grades. And then I realized that everything that I learned in there wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to play professional baseball. I didn't understand, so I was putting out too many things in too many different areas. And so in those 3 years, I developed a cutter. I started getting stronger. I did everything I could to get my arm healthy. And then finally learned about what my options were going to be when I was healthy. And okay, I need to go to these tryouts and do this and do that. So, I've been through some adversity, and, I understand there's going to be more to come, and it's not going to stop me, Answers your first part.
Yes, it does. Since it was my question, don't get into it. It's not yet. Very, yeah, that was legit. The fact that
the perseverance, man.
This is the thing. The fact you're talking to a guy, know this about me. A lot of people that know me know this about me. You're talking to a guy that got cut from high school, varsity in high school. Now, when I was in high school, the high school I went to, when they were ranked 13th in the nation at the time, right?
Top 10.
They were top 10, top 20 for sure, everywhere. School, I was 13 as my freshman year. I was 13, probably 110 pounds, 120 pounds. I was like 5'6". I was a baby, and these were grown men playing. They were grown. They would draft at least. There was two guys every year. Two or three guys every year
Out of high school.
out of high school. These guys, they were big boys, and I wasn't at that level. I wasn't at that level. I never played college. It was never lack of hard work, lack of talent, yes, but, and I can admit that. I could have said, you know what, I got cut from high school. I'm not gonna play baseball because if I got cut from high school, what's gonna make me think that I'm gonna play college or professional baseball? I could have given up just like everyone else that got cut and gave up and pursued something else, which is totally fine. I could have pursued, which by the way, I have my degree in criminal justice. Pursued law enforcement, right? I could have just given it all up, Obviously, the love for the game doesn't change, but I could have just stopped pursuing it. I could have just stopped going to the field, and I could have just settled. It's really easy to just quit because when you quit, you just quit. That's it. When you give up, you give up. There's no more energy. That's it. The hard thing is to keep on going. You're going to struggle. You're going to deal with adversity. You're going to deal with being cut. You're going to deal with competition and this. And that's the hard part. The hard part is going. Quitting is easy. That's so easy to do. But I didn't. I went to two colleges, 3 colleges. Eventually found a home in Monroe. I played it's a Division I JUCO, in the north, up here in the Northeast, in New Rochelle, which is where I work at now. Which I got my job there after my season, and I played on the team that had the best record in history there. We won regionals. We lost in the championship game in districts against Hartford. And it was just a great experience. And looking back at it, I didn't play pro ball, although I'm still not done, by the way, because I'm not giving up. I'm 23 years old. I'm not giving up because I still got some gas in the tank. Just looking back on it, I'm glad that I kept going. I'm glad that I didn't say, I'm not, I'm short, I'm skinny, which by the way, I grew into my body. Now I'm 6 feet, I'm about 205, 210, which is pretty solid for me. I compared to what I used to be before. And I could have given up and just took that easy route. But I know now, mentally, I would have never been where I'm at right now. I'm saying that just because I really feel you on the sense of you breaking your elbow and continue, because that was an obstacle that could have set anyone down. Just, what, I broke my elbow, I'm done.
And that's exactly why we're different, Jonathan.
And you kept on going, and look now, you're in Mexico, man. Mexico. So that's that right there.
You,
yeah, I respect that. The way
that's
I respect that.
That's
that is, you see right there. That is HTTP. It is that simple.
It's a great time to just piggy off what. Now, my question is straight to Jonathan.
Not your return yet.
I want to say this because it's the right moment.
Say it.
It's the right moment. Jonathan, how you manage to run a full, it's just community of your brand and just pumping out quality content on a day-to-day basis while at the same time, still playing football.
Yeah, exactly. Still pursuing.
Yeah. Playing pro ball and pursuing dreams. Like, how you do
it? It cut out, Elvis. It cut out. Okay, I got what was the beginning part of the question? How do I what?
How do you balance it? I mean, you run a full community brand, pumping out content on social media constantly, your brand, and how do you balance that with your pro baseball and you're still pursuing your dream of one day making it to the show? How do you balance those two? Because you're pretty consistent on both sides of the ball.
That's tough to do.
That's tough to do, man.
That's a good question. Well, man, I don't know. I mean, being down here, I have a lot more time. before you go to the field and stuff. Like you guys, I'm constantly online too. So I think it comes down to something that I kind of picked up, a while ago when I started doing all this, and Gary V's really helped me on all this stuff too, is I just started seeing stuff that was cool. Like, okay, this is cool. Like, I started picking up little things from, unfortunately, like I think I'm cool, but when you're doing lessons with 12, 13-year-old kids and they're saying phrases and things that you have no idea about, suddenly you realize that you're not in the loop on whatever is cool, whatever is lit or fire or whatever is going on in that, in those kids' heads. But I do, I understand, how to connect with them and stuff. So once I started doing that, it was like, okay, so I have a degree in advertising marketing and a minor in art. So I've always liked making shirts. I like the Nike shirts and stuff like that. That's cool. I think I can make my own. So, I basically found a distributor on Amazon that sells me shirts one at a time. And my dad and I kind of hacked our way into producing our own shirts. My dad's a graphic designer for a government contractor down in Florida, and it's kind of our side business together. So, when somebody orders a shirt off my website, I go on Amazon, find the one they want, send it to them. It takes about 2 days with Amazon Prime. He produces it in a day and a half and ships it out. So it's like a 4-day process. And it's with love. That's the whole thing that comes with there. And so I don't know, man, it goes back to my shark mentality too, like you're talking about, just I wake up and I'm moving. I'm constantly looking at Gary V. When I'm listening or watching Gary V, I'm picking up techniques that he's putting out, that he's telling, one of the awesome Ask Gary V's that they had was one of the guys from the Celtics, from the brothers from North Carolina, and talking about how, they're diversifying and constantly looking to do things. And it's fun for me to see results when I get a text message or a DM from a kid who bought some J-Bands, and he's like, hey man, I bought J-Bands off your site and used your free YouTube video, and my arms never felt better, and now I'm throwing harder. And I'm like, awesome, that's great. So it motivates me when I'm helping kids and getting out the quality information, the things that I wish that happened to me, instead of on the flip side of the affiliated ball stuff where everything's a secret, where, you don't know that there's a big league pitcher that in the off season is crushing in the gym. He might take a gym selfie here and there, but you don't know what workouts he's doing, or if he's long tossing, or if he's doing weighted balls. Like, everything's on this secret side. And, talking, this next off season that's coming up, I've been talking to you guys about, possibly coming to New York and everything, but I'm going to be doing a lot more documenting myself on just what I do. I mean, that's where it started. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can see I just put out, before I left, I put out 2 or 3 bullpens that I put out, where I just set up my phone on a tripod and just videoed my bullpen, and then knew that I could use that for much more, a lot more content later. But I just want to see people like, hey, this is what I did before I left. This is what I personally do. And so the more stuff that I get back from people, kind of like you guys with your 110% community, the more I'm just like, hey, it's fun to me, So I just want people to see that anybody can play college baseball. Anybody can play pro ball. By the way, hey, we'll talk later about that. I got some phone numbers, connections. If you want to get in the game, I'll hook you up. But I'll send you some tryouts or whatever, whatever you need to do. But honestly, it's just people, and if anybody wants to do anything or know what I'm doing, I'm an open book. So, I just wake up and it's time to go. It's wake up, it's grind, it's hustle. Actually, I heard there was a contradicting thing that the J-Bands guy put out, according to my philosophy. The whole hustle thing is you may call it hustle, but I just call it everyday work. And that's something that Gary V is always putting out: hustle, grind, do what you got to do. And I know that's a little bit against your guys' 110% philosophy, but I do understand, they're kind of meaning the same thing, and a lot of people used to tell me when I was younger, when I didn't really know a lot, or even now, they tell me, oh, you got a rubber arm, you can throw all the time. But they don't understand the thousands of thousands of throws and the gym time that I put to get to this point. And that's where I think that maybe in the off season I might be doing a lot more documenting myself and be like, look, this is what I do every day. You know, I'm fortunate enough to be playing baseball where I make enough money that I don't really have to have a day job too much, but that's where the lessons and stuff comes in there with that. But I'm still training and doing what I got to do there. So, you know, it's definitely, it's hard sometimes. And, you know, I want to take a break and just, you know, kick up by the pool, have a margarita and call it a day. But I don't know, I'm in this momentum thing right now where, dude, if I take a day off, I freak out. I don't know what it is. I think it's honestly like something inside of me. If I don't move, if I don't lift the weight, run, throw a baseball, you know, or something on my number one priority every day, like I hate off days. Like we play 6 days a week here, and I literally hate off. Like Monday off day is so boring to me because I'm like, I know my body needs this, but my mind tells me that I need to do something else, you know. And I tell kids all the time, like, you know, in throwing stuff, I get questions all the time. How do I throw harder? How does this sound? Like, dude, it's about consistency. It's about keep working. Like your season ends. I mean, how many games did you play in high school? 25? I mean, come on, they play 162 in the big leagues. Keep working. Like, just keep going. Like, you want to know why? Like, unfortunately for you, you know, when you were playing in your high school season and you're playing with grown men, you might not have had the information that these guys did it at 12 or 13 and start hitting the weight room and become grown men before you. Because I was the same way, you know. Like, I grew up in the generation of don't work out. Like, baseball players don't work out. That's for football. Yep. You know, and then as soon as I get to college, the first thing we do is work out. And I'm like, hold on. Like, my entire life philosophy is upside down of what's going on with baseball right now.
Throw a ball. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, and yeah, Jonathan, I agree 100%, man. A lot of people are quick to just give up and not keep going, you know. One example in particular, I don't want to say names, but well, for the most part, just about towards the end of the summers of every summer, we always get massive, you know, personal messages, emails, because every time we, you know, process our applicants for this new upcoming year or whatnot every September, and for the most part, all of them are pretty much the same. How can we? Could you put me in a throwing program? How can I throw faster? How can I throw 95? How can I throw 99? 100 miles per hour. How can I do this? How can I do that? And then you just click on their social media pages and you go back to what they did this summer. And they were out in Puerto Rico having fun, taking a 3-month vacation, Jonathan. We're out in Puerto Rico, Ricky. You know, I love using Ricky as that's my name. You know what I'm saying? When I have my daily rants on Snapchat, because I just like talking. I say, if you were in the middle of Puerto Rico, Ricky, drinking H for 3 months, you would not be throwing 86 miles per hour. So you probably would be throwing 96 how you want to if you would have worked. Man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I run into the same thing all the time. It reminds me exactly of a client I got back in Florida, and he, you know, they're a well-off family, but the kid works hard. He's a humble kid. And before I had left a couple of years ago, I mean, he was going into his sophomore year, I got him to touch 93. And I mean, he's a big kid, big frame, committed to go to Vanderbilt. And sure enough, I get a call before I leave for my season from Pops. Yo, homie's only throwing 85. What's going on? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what you tell me? Like, I haven't seen him in a year. Like, I don't know tell me what he did. Is he training? Well, he was going to this guy, and then the guy told me he was throwing too much, so he needed a rest and this and that. And I'm like, okay, hold on. Was he hurt? Was there something going on? No, he wasn't hurt. They just said he had a lot of innings. According to who? According to what? What's his strength level? Like, what is the deal? Why? I don't understand. Tell me what's happening. You know, so and then on top of that, they send me a video, and his mechanics used to be super explosive, but yet still nice and tight and quiet. And then he sends me this other thing, and I'm like, he doesn't even look like he knows what he's doing. Like he you know, he's got this quick start to the stop to this throw, and they're like, oh, he's going to be more explosive that way. And I'm like, okay, but 2 years or a year and a half has gone by and he's throwing slower. So you got to tell me something else is going on. Like I don't, I'm not saying I'm the master of pitching mechanics, but I do know that the training that he was doing with me, the stuff we were doing, got him to 93. Now he's not. So I feel like it's a quick fix. Just go back to what he was doing before. That's no problem at all. Like that's an easy. I don't see any problem with that at all. It's like, well, I don't know if it's too late. It's the middle of the season. I'm like, well, let's FaceTime and let's do a video right now. What's the deal? So sure enough, last week it's been 2 months, I think 2-3 months, and he's telling me too, like all his metrics, his squats higher, his vertical jumps better, he's running faster, his long toss is good, and I'm like, okay, well then it's something else, And sure enough, I got a text last week, hey, he's back to 92. I'm like, there you go. Now just keep going. Don't stop. Be consistent. Keep working.
Consistent. That's a strong point. Consistency is really important.
It is, Jonathan. You live it. You're around guys that like that. And honestly, we're not just speaking in behalf of those kids who work their butts off and they're still at 83, 84 miles per hour. We're not just preaching to them to keep going. We are preaching for those to those folks who are in the minor leagues, all over the any affiliate ball you're playing in. You could be throwing 97, 98. If you don't do your video analysis, if you don't do your sequencing, and you don't treat your arm and injury prevention and all these little things, because we're heavy on the little things in baseball and all sports in life. I'm a big preacher in the little things. The smallest things, make a huge difference in the long run. If you're not treating yourself, you're not going to maintain that velocity. You know that. I mean, I've seen most of your videos. You have to, injury prevention. Things that around that same context.
Now, Jay, earlier I said I had something to say. It was more of a question / concern or whatever it was, but his rant. Sorry, rant. I have a little situation, and I kind of want to. I'm very big on expressing myself. So we grew up in as I've said already. Are you there? You got it? Okay. See.
Yeah.
We grew up here. A lot of supporters that we have, HTP. A lot of people don't even know us. A lot of people. What I'm trying to say is a lot of people that do know us, even family members, they don't support us. They don't believe in us. And you're gonna have it. It's gonna happen. But I just don't understand how support someone. You would support John Doe, who you don't know, right? But you wouldn't support your brother or your cousin or your friend or some guy that grew up in the same area as you. So my thing is, sometimes I don't understand why people would support other people that they don't know, and they wouldn't support. They're gonna doubt you. They're gonna doubt you. They're gonna say, "Oh, those guys aren't going anywhere." Listen, just keep it coming because we're only gonna get better. But it's confusing to me because my thing is, if my friend cuts grass and I have a lawn, guess who's gonna cut my grass? Even if he's not the best guy, guess who's gonna cut it? My friend's gonna cut it because that's his business. That's what he's good at. That's what he loves to do. I know that Ricky, who's Elvis's fictional character, and my guy's John Doe. I know that Ricky's a little better than you. His price might be a little bit more affordable. But if you're my friend John Doe and you cut grass and Ricky cuts grass, and I don't know who Ricky is, Ricky lives house for me. John Doe's gonna cut my grass. I'm gonna support my friend. That's my friend, and I have to support him. Cut my grass. Go for it. So I feel like that's a big problem, and I feel like it's a problem. I don't know about the question. Now the question comes in. I don't know if it's happened with you or it happens with you. Since we're from New York creates an environment where you look at the guy, and regardless of what he's done for you, or regardless of how he's been with you, if he's humble, if he's just, regardless of anything, a lot of people's first thought is that guy's not going anywhere. This isn't going to blow up every time. He's doing this. And I feel, because I'm from New York, I see it a lot. I feel like a lot of people that have their businesses, they preach or whatever it is, you know, outside of New York that I know about, they have more supporters, you know. But once you're in here, I don't know. It's like, this is cool here, you know, and everyone doesn't want to be a sheep, and they want to be a lion, the predator. But I'm a little, that kind of messes with me. That's one of my big things, you know. It's a challenge for a lot of people that own businesses or that have their own ideas, trying to promote it to who's around them. But I want to ask you if you're in that. Oh, maybe it's just us. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I did. I've got two parts to this. I have dealt with situations like that where it's, you know, oh, you're the new guy, you don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And you know, what I would call, especially in my area, the old school pitching coaches, the people that are, you know, gonna kind of put you through their mechanics thing or this and that, but not give you the full program, you know, and that's what I've always preached from the beginning. And I think one of the rarities that I have, and especially some of the other guys that I follow on Instagram, that I'm one of the rare people that can actually do what I'm showing. Like, for example, that kid that I was working for that I got to Vanderbilt, I would schedule out my lessons where I wouldn't do my throwing program until he and I would do it together. So his arm actions and the way he was throwing were very similar to mine. And that's where I had noticed the correlation, where I'd be like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Instead of doing a normal 45 minutes to an hour, you're going to work with me at the end, and we're going to do an hour and a half to 2 hours together. And we're going to get all the throws that we need to get in and do all the stuff. And so to compound that and go back to what we were talking about before about, you know, some people think they're showing off or this and that and don't understand what the environment you're trying to put out is. I've had multiple people ask me when I'm going to stop play baseball, people that I went to high school with, as if it was a bad thing. And that's how it started for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And now here's the funny part, because you're only 23 and I'm 31, so I'm a little ahead of you. Same people, probably same people cutting grass. Probably we're talking about the same people, right? Now they're blowing my stuff up, talking about how awesome that it is that I'm still playing ball and that I'm still grinding and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
What was that?
Same thing happened to us. I mean, we don't use it. We're not saying this, you know, this whole thing just for people to feel bad for us or whatever. We use that as motivation. And
listen, we love the fans. The positive ones, the negative ones.
Yep.
There's this thing that it's called the fan club. And those are the people that let's be a little bit more modern and let's say they hate. Let's say hate. Let's use the word hate. Listen, join the fan club. It's free. The subscription, it's free.
Yeah.
We're not charging yet. You can join that list and get in line and just watch his work. Watch his eat. Simple.
Exactly. Yeah, you're building your side of the whole thing. You're jabbing, as Gary would say, so hard, you know, on what you're building your reputation and your brand. And you know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the same thing too with my stuff. And I'm sure you guys are going to be super successful in all this. And it's going to be, you know, with you know, it sounds like to me, really honestly, you need some Gary Vee in your life. You know, you really do. Oh, we got a problem?
No, we're back. Boom.
Oh, we're back.
Wait.
It sounds like you need some strong Gary Vee in the morning. Like I'm telling you, because like he tells this story, man, and I can totally relate to it. He talks about how there's a new show coming out called Planet of the Apps, and it's like will.i.am, Gwyneth Paltrow, one other celebrity, and then they name all three of those people, and then they put and more, and he's the and more. And he's like, oh, you just motivated me so hard because you didn't even put my name on there. You don't think that I'm good enough to be listed with the rest of these celebrities. So I'm the same way. It's when especially in winter ball, I get to play against all these guys who are active in the big leagues and this and that, or Sergio Romo's on my team and some other big name guys. And the story was every time they're like, oh, what organization are you in? I'm like, not in an organization. Like, really? How'd you get here? I'm like, well, I played here, pitched well, met this guy, got an invitation, and now I'm here. And they're like, wow, really? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you've never played affiliated ball in the States? And sure haven't. No, it's just been one of those things, So yeah, I'm here.
Jonathan, you can say it?
Yep, yeah, you guys are good. I can hear you.
Okay, all right. We're just having some technical difficulties here at the office.
So we'll get together, afterwards, and I'll get a list of stuff, and we'll get some going from there,
Yeah.
I'll share. I'll share a bunch of my secrets and the stuff that I use with things that just make it easier on me. As far as getting content or all cheap stuff that I got on Amazon. So we'll talk about that when we get off air. So, well,
Absolutely.
I think we've accomplished a great amount on our first podcast. I think you guys' story is awesome. I think that stories are really, I kind of noticed something, even what Gary Vee was talking about, every one of those Hard Knock shows that comes out, I'm a fan. Like, I don't want to call myself a bandwagon fan, but maybe I'm just like, I follow, I'm passionate about the story that comes about the offensive tackle who's in his first year, or the defensive tackle who's a rookie, or in his last year, whatever. So I think you guys are on the right path about telling your story and telling stories in general. And I really think if you guys can continue telling that story on everything that you're doing and all the good positivity stuff that you're putting out, you're going to have a lot of great content, and especially to put out on YouTube and stuff from there that's really going to help you guys grow and blow up. So I appreciate you guys coming on the podcast. It was fun. It was really great to meet you guys. You got three quality, brothers that are really helping each other out.
It's a family thing. We fight all the time, but at the end of the day, it's all family. It's all love.
We love each other. Yeah. Listen, like I said earlier, we're siblings, man. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're siblings. This guy right here, I pull his ear sometimes. This guy pulls my ear. This is family, man.
We appreciate you again for having us on.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't wait to. I really can't wait for the next time we're invited again. Can't wait for the next one. Jonathan, just let us know. We'll be all in. All right.
For sure. I can already think one of the guys that's in that group with us, Johansson, Ryan Johansson, he's kind of got the same philosophy as all of us. And so, I think we could do an awesome round table, just getting around and just bringing up random things that put out information to help people. So I think that's something that we'll definitely put that in.
Be different.
Yeah.
Ryan, #be different.
That's another thing too. I know we're finishing it off, but you could tell that when people have the same ideas and they think somewhat alike, positivity and want to be great, it attracts, and we could genuinely feel that from you. I feel like the feeling is mutual. You understand that we're trying to get better. We're trying to make our communities better, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to put in the description the information on their Instagram. If you haven't followed them, you should. They got a ton of followers. Check out their Roots documentary on YouTube. We'll have the link in there on that description also. Don't forget to follow them, like all their stuff. They need comments. They need feedback. So do I on my Instagram and my YouTube. That really helps us understand what you guys are looking for and we can put out there. Finally, don't forget about Let It Fly Factory shirts. I just dropped another shirt a second ago, baseball style t-shirt. Don't forget about the tap weighted balls. I'm a big fan of these. You don't need anybody to throw with, dude. This is one of the reasons I put a great YouTube video out, how to throw without a partner. It's one of the biggest issues I've attacked in being a pro ball player in the off season. Don't forget about the flush bands. We talked about rehab earlier. get these on the elbow and the arm, and then finally, got to get the J-bands. If you don't have J-bands, you got to work on it. Definitely got to work on it. So I appreciate it, guys, again.
Get your J-bands.
Get your J-bands now.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. Well,
Hey,
again,
Jay,
guys,
last thing. Ricky and John Doe, they both need J-bands because they love taking vacations and they love quitting. So we need to get them some J-bands.
Yeah,
Those fictional characters that are really not fictional, go get your J-band. You don't want to throw 86, but you want to throw 96,
Get your J-bands.
get your J-band. Honestly.
Perfect. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, once again, I appreciate it. We'll definitely do this again. I had a blast. Thanks again. And you got anything else for everybody?
Let's go HTP.
Just go HTP. Go 110%. Don't be regular.
Just do
Yeah.
it.
What's that?
HTP.
Say that Instagram again. What's the? How can they follow you on Instagram?
Okay, so to follow us on Instagram is pretty simple. 110%, HUNDRDT and percent. Pretty simple. On Twitter, HTP110. YouTube, HTP Sports TV. And on Facebook, 110%. No and in the middle, 110%. Pretty simple.
Perfect. That's awesome. And like I said, I'll have that all in the description. I'll get all that information from you guys. Thanks again. All right, guys. Last thing, don't forget. Throw.
Thank you.
Hard.
Keep grinding, man. We'll talk soon. Keep grinding.
For sure.
I love it. Get your J-bands now. Get them.